Hey, welcome back to another OK video. Tonight I am inking some of this Power Princess comic. This Power Princess comic is going to be an 11-page comic, a little bit shorter than my usual ones, but I'm trying to squeeze it in into a 2.5 week time period, which is pretty crazy for me. That's really fast. We're going to be doing a little bit of inking tonight, and I also wanted to mention that there's a contest going on. This is going to be a paid comic, but if you'd like to try to get your comic for free, there's an excellent way for you to do that, and it's through the tagline contest that's happening right now. It's going to end when the comic is actually out for release. So if you're watching this and the comic is already out and available, it's too late. But if you can get in before April the 4th, 2019, then you've got time. Okay, all you have to do is create a fun tagline about wet nurse. All right, so a few of my favorite ones, I'll just read from the top of the list. Her double D's deliver double the danger. And let's see, she was wet, now she is pissed. And she'll have you thirsting for nursing. A couple of really good ones. There's going to be 2 winners from DeviantArt and 2 winners from my Patreon. If you want to double your chances of winning, you can also go on to my Patreon, do a $2 pledge, and that will qualify you to participate in the Patreon one. There's not a whole lot of entries on the Patreon, so your chances are really good over there. So that's being said, I'm going to go ahead and start inking and talk a little bit about the comic as I ink. If you go over here onto my DeviantArt to the contest, you'll also see a link to the original Power Princess comic, which was done in 2011, I think. So 8 years later, the sequel finally has arrived. So I'm hoping that it lives up to the expectations of suspense that have been building for 7 years. And there's been a lot of fan requests for this comic to get a sequel, and I am happy that this sequel, in my opinion, I've been working on it. This sequel is definitely going to live up to the expectations, and I'm so happy that I did this because I love the comic. A little while ago, I put out a poll kind of asking what kind of series or comics that I should be thinking about doing since I'm wrapping up Sanderson Stepsisters, and now I'm wrapped up Sanderson Stepsisters. So now we have this kind of gap opening where I've got to figure out what to do with the time that I've got now. So I'm going to be doing some more like short comics like this, comics that are really focused on the theme that is presented in them and really just fleshing that out. Not a whole lot of story to it, but all the story is focused on just fleshing out this theme. So this one's theme is definitely nursing and like regression, age regression, mental regression. There's going to be all of that, and it's going to be pretty much focused on it the entire time. So yeah, I don't want to give away too much right now because this is very much still on the way, and I don't want to give away too much. But it's going to be great. I'm loving every page that I've done so far, and I am now on page 7. I've only got, 3 more pages to do now. So it's all going really well, and it should be out the 4th of April. At least pre-order is going to be out. It might all be out by the 4th. It's just, I'm really pushing it for that to happen. So it might happen. It might be like the 6th or 7th. Let's see here. Power Princess. If you've not read the original Power Princess, let me give you a little bit of the lowdown on who she is. Power Princess returns with her sidekick, her forgettable sidekick, Powerball. Powerball is this character that accompanies Power Princess, and Power Princess is meant to be like a kind of like a mixture of Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry, Wonder Woman and Power Girl. We've never actually seen Power Princess use her superpowers, and I'm not even sure if she does have superpowers yet, but at least we haven't seen them being used yet. Her superpowers at this point are limited to being super good looking and being super into herself and being super proud of the good looks that she bears. And Powerball is kind of the opposite. She gets stuffed into a big ball. That is her costume, and she kind of has to get stuck with all the dirty work that Wet Nurse and Power Princess end up getting into when they fight each other. So you can see here that she's definitely getting the brunt of the dirty work again. And yeah, so let's see what else. Power Princess is kind of a fun character to be drawing with because I get to kind of create this comedy duo between her and Powerball. I think you're going to enjoy some of the comedy in this comic. And let's see here. It's hard to ink and talk at the same time. But yeah, so Powerball over here, you can see is going to kind of, in the last issue, I don't want to spoil too much about there, but this is kind of like a reboot almost, but it's like a reboot in that I've really amped up the character development because the first one I did 7 years ago. This was way back before I was putting so much thought into my comics and before I was, selling them and doing them every day for 7 years. So I have put a lot more thought into the duo over time, and you should kind of see that they're a lot more fleshed out. They feel more like a real pair, like they actually exist in a universe, a Power Princess universe, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this comic so much that you want to see more and you feel like these characters are real now. And I think that you're really going to like Power Princess in this, and Powerball, and Wet Nurse. I think Wet Nurse is going to be a very I think Wet Nurse is going to catch on. She's fun. She's the whole premise of her evil nature is kind of funny and very unusual. So I think that's perfect for comics, and it'll be interesting to see everybody's reactions. And I'm thinking that these characters will live on for a while after this. Hopefully we'll get into more sequels, but I don't want to speak too soon. We'll just see how this one goes. And if it does go well, we could definitely add some more characters into the universe. I would see probably kind of restarting the characters again after the way this ends. You've seen in issue 1 how they end. They all kind of become different people, and I probably need to address that too. Someone left in the comment like what happened to them after the first issue, because it's a little unclear. Spoilers, but at the end of the first comic, it ends with Powerball has defeated Wet Nurse, but Wet Nurse has defeated Power Princess, and so Power Princess and Wet Nurse end up mentally regressed and infrared. And so Powerball, we see her kind of taking charge and deciding that she's going to fight crime, and she's going to be taking Wet Nurse's place and using Wet Nurse's creations for good. And my explanation for what happens to Powerball after that comic is that she is still in college. She's still in college, still taking classes. Maybe she's taking nursing classes, but she is behind with her student loans. College is too much pressure with the studying, so she ends up just bowing out of the superhero business, and she's behind with her loans, and she helps Power Princess get back on her feet. She kind of helps her grow back up mentally, and that's where we pick up with the story again. It's Power Princess is kind of back almost to normal, and so is Wet Nurse, and now Wet Nurse is back for revenge, and she has kind of caught up to Power Princess and Powerball. Let's see here. You see here, there's already some action going on here. All right, and let's see. I think to finish off what I was saying, Power Princess had a reality TV show that ended up becoming the most successful reality TV show once Wet Nurse had, gotten the Kardashian show out of the way. I forgot. I should have looked this up again. But now Power Princess's show was on top, and after she got mentally regressed, of course, the show was canceled, and now this is when Powerball decides that she needs to get Power Princess back on her feet so she can kind of reap the rewards of that paycheck. She was getting a good paycheck while she was Power Princess's sidekick on the TV show. And so that was her, kind of inspiring motivation for why Powerball has kind of quit the superhero business and gone back to being a sidekick of Power Princess. It's mostly to survive college life. So yeah, here we have an inked panel. Whoops, that was a little shaky. All right. Look over here, she looks like she is singing or something. Reminds me of like, I don't know, like a musical Fievel Goes West or something. I don't know. But here you see, this is Powerball and Power Princess. They are getting back into trouble and trying to fight Wet Nurse. It is coming out April 4th. It's going to be an 11-page comic with the covers, so 12 pages. And go ahead and enter that contest if you'd like to have a chance of winning a free copy. Thanks for watching my videos, and hopefully you get a little bit more feel for who Power Princess is and Powerball. This comic will definitely turn you into a fan of Power Princess and her sidekick Powerball. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. This is Okay.